In this video, I'm going to show you how to crochet this top. This is part 1 of this bucket hat, crop top, and mini skirt set. This backless top is very sexy. You can wear it like this at the back or just as a halter. It goes really well with other bottoms as well. And if you prefer dresses to skirts, I do have another tutorial on the dress version with a similar design for the top area. I will link it up here. And just in case you're wondering, the skirt video is going to be uploaded next week and the bucket hat the week after. I will also link them here when they're out. As you can see, we're going to need 2 colors, one main color, one accent color. And I'm going to use a 4mm crochet hook for the whole set. We're going to first make a slip knot with the accent color, which for me is purple, and then chain up 180. So go ahead and do that. This is the bottom strings. So if you want the bottom strings to be longer, you can chain more. The next thing to do is take your bust measurement, but only measure your chest from side to side. So that's however wide you want your top to be. And take that measurement. Mine is 46 centimeters. Then we're going to find out how many chains when stretched equals that measurement. For me, it's 60 chains. Then I'm going to use 2 stitch markers to mark out the center 60 stitches. And because I have 180 stitches in total, I have 60 stitches on each end. So 60 stitches here, including the stitch marker, 60 stitches in the middle, and from this stitch marker, 60 stitches to the end. Then we're going to work the next row. So chain 1 to turn. I've already done that, so I currently have 181 chains. Next, find the second stitch from the hook, turn this chain over, and insert hook in the back loop of that stitch. Make a slip stitch. Next stitch, insert in the back loop, a slip stitch again. Continue working 1 slip stitch in the back loop of each stitch to the first stitch marker. So I've made 60 slip stitches to the stitch marker. In the next stitch, I'm going to make the first double crochet. And I always make my first double crochet like this, so I'll insert my hook in that stitch, make a single crochet first. Now we have 2 vertical loops. Insert hook in the left loop, then make a single crochet again. Then from the next stitch, we can work normal double crochets. Yarn over, insert hook in the back loop of the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2 again. Continue working 1 double crochet in each stitch, and I'll see you at the next stitch marker. My next stitch is the marked stitch. I've made 60 double crochets in total. And from the next stitch marker to the end of the chain, we're going to make 1 slip stitch in each stitch. But first I need to bring the yarn down to the height of a slip stitch. So what I do is I make a slip stitch in the side loops of the last double crochet, like this, pull up a loop, and slip stitch. Then I can make one slip stitch in the marked stitch, and continue slip stitching to the end of the row. Finish the last slip stitch, pull yarn through, and cut. Then I'm going to tie a knot like this. Then turn my work. Use the main color to make a slip knot. Connect it to the first double crochet. Make my first double crochet like I showed you before. Make a single crochet in the stitch, 2 vertical loops. In the left loop, work 1 more single crochet. Starting from the next stitch, work 1 double crochet in each double crochet stitch. Finish the last one, then turn again. Repeat the last row. Make the first double crochet exactly like this one. 1 single crochet. Then in the left loop, 1 more single crochet. Then 1 double crochet in each stitch. So keep repeating this row. This line sits right below our chest. Keep working until it reaches the center of your chest. So I did 7 rows in total, 6 rows in white, and it's about 3.5 inches. Then I'm going to stretch this piece and place it against my chest and mark out where my nipples are in order to prepare for the next row. I have 17 stitches before the left hand stitch marker and 17 stitches after the right hand stitch marker. Then mark 1 more stitch on each side, the stitch that's closer to the end. We're going to make a decrease in these 2 stitches. So I'm going to continue working 1 double crochet in each stitch, and I'll see you here. In the stitch before the stitch marker, work an incomplete double crochet. So if you already finished that stitch like me, just undo the last yarn over and pull through. Because the next stitch is the accent color, I'm going to use the purple to complete this double crochet. Take off the stitch markers. In the next 2 stitches, we're going to make a front post double crochet 2 together. So yarn over, insert hook around the stitch, and pull yarn through like this. Yarn over and pull through 2. Work the next stitch together. So yarn over, insert from the front, go around the stitch, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Now we have 3 loops on the hook, and because the next stitch is white, I'm going to switch to the white yarn and pull through. Leave the purple yarn at the back, which is the wrong side. Then from the next stitch, work 1 double crochet in each stitch. I'm going to leave this purple thread here. I'm not going to carry the yarn all the way here because otherwise the purple would be very visible through the white yarn. So I'm going to leave this purple here and continue to work it upward like that and start a new thread here and work it upward as well. So I'm going to continue working 1 double crochet in each stitch to here. Okay, so when you get to 1 stitch before the stitch marker, work an incomplete double crochet in the next stitch, and then use a new thread of purple yarn to complete this double crochet. And then I'm going to take off the stitch markers and work 1 front post double crochet 2 together in these 2 stitches. So I'm going to yarn over, insert my hook, pull through, yarn over and pull through 2. In the next stitch, yarn over, insert, pull through, yarn over and pull through 2. And then I'm going to drop the purple yarn to the back and pick up that white yarn and complete this stitch. From the next stitch, I'm going to continue working 1 double crochet in each stitch to the end of the row. When I finish this row, I'm going to turn my work and make 1 double crochet in each stitch till I get here. Okay, now I am 2 stitches away from the purple. In the next stitch, work an incomplete double crochet. And then I'm going to pick up that purple yarn and use it to complete this stitch. And then in the next 2 stitches, I'm going to make a back post double crochet 2 together. So in the next stitch, which is this one, I'm going to yarn over, insert from the back around the stitch. I'm going to wrap this purple yarn in the stitch as well. So like this. Pull yarn through, yarn over and pull through 2. The next stitch is the purple one, yarn over and insert from the back, go around the stitch, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, and then drop the purple yarn, use the white yarn, yarn over and pull through 3. And now you're going to take the purple yarn to the wrong side, which is the side that's facing us right now. And from the next stitch, which is this white stitch, continue making 1 double crochet in each stitch. When you get to the next color work, we are going to make a back post double crochet 2 together in this and this stitch. So in the next stitch, I'm still working an incomplete double crochet. Then use the purple yarn to complete the stitch. then yarn over. In the next purple stitch, insert from the back, around the stitch, pull yarn through, and yarn over, pull through 2. In the next white stitch, yarn over, insert hook from the back, go around the stitch, pull through a loop, then yarn over, pull through 2. Then leave the purple yarn to the back, the wrong side of the top, and use the white yarn to pull through all 3 loops. And then from the next stitch, which is the second white stitch, we've already done this stitch, so I'm gonna continue from here and finish this row. Okay, and then I'm gonna turn my work back, and then from the next round, you're just going to keep repeating the last 2 rows. So the next row is the one with the front post double crochets, and whenever we are about to do a front post double crochet row, just to help yourself remember, mark the 2 colored stitches and the stitches next to them, the ones that are closer to the end. We are going to place the front post double crochets in them. I'm actually going to work the next row with you just to help you connect with what you know to do next. So I'm going to start my row and meet you here. I'm 1 stitch away from the stitch marker. Work an incomplete double crochet in the next stitch. Use purple to complete the stitch. In the next 2 stitches, work a front post double crochet 2 together. So 1 front post in the next stitch, yarn over, pull through 2. 1 front post in the next stitch again, yarn over, pull through 2. Change color here. Finish this stitch. Then continue double crochets from the next stitch, which is this white stitch. When I get to the second front post double crochet, do the same. So in the stitch that's right before the next stitch marker, work an incomplete double crochet. Use purple to pull through 2. A front post in the next stitch. Yarn over, pull through 2. 1 more front post in the next stitch. Yarn over and pull through 2. Change to the white yarn. Pull through all 3. Leave the purple yarn to the wrong side. Then go ahead and finish this row. When you turn to the wrong side, do the same as I showed you before, 1 double crochet in each stitch, except in these 2 stitches, make a back post double crochet 2 together, and in these 2, a back post double crochet 2 together as well. So I'm going to continue alternating between these 2 rows and meet you back here when I'm finished. Including the row that we started to change color, I did 7 rows in total. Now I can cut both purple threads. Next, we're going to make the upper strings. I cut this thread as well. Chain 1 and pull yarn through. With the right side of the top facing us, I'm going to attach the purple yarn to the right hand corner. I'm going to simply attach the yarn by tying a knot. Then turn to the wrong side. Insert hook in the last stitch, pull yarn through, then start chaining until it's long enough to tie to your lower strings at the back when you are wearing the top. I chained 81. Then I'm going to insert my hook in the second chain from the hook. Pull up a loop and make a slip stitch. In the next stitch, a slip stitch. So we're going to make 1 slip stitch in each chain, and when you get to the actual stitches, the double crochets, insert only in the back loop of the stitch and continue making slip stitches across. Finish the last stitch, then start making the second strap by chaining the same number of the chains as the strap on the other side. For this strap, I'm going to turn my chain and insert my hook in the back loop of that second chain from the hook and make a slip stitch. So 1 slip stitch in the back loop of each chain. When you're done with the last chain, chain 1 and pull yarn through. Weave in the ends and you're done. Before we wrap this up, let me show you how I would wear it. My original design is this. Tie the lower strings together, then wrap both upper strings around it and tie them together. That way, the lower strings are slightly pulled up, which makes the top more flattering from the front and from the side. And the top also feels very secure that way. But you can also wear it as a halter top. I have testers telling me that it's the most comfortable halter top they'd ever worn, so it'll totally work as a halter as well. In the next video, I'll show you how to make the matching skirt. I'll see you there.